I know. It's on my channel.
No, you, me. Yeah, okay.
You, me.
Okay, I'm just telling you because I edited them.
Okay, no, I edited the last two, so don't even. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I have my fiance Jordan on with me, and we're gonna film a video together. I got a lot of people requesting when I asked what kind of videos everyone wanted me to film. I got a lot of responses asking if I can do a relationship video with my fiance Jordan, and I am. We are doing it today. And if you like this video today, go ahead and feel free to leave some suggestions in the comment box.
In the comment section.
And if you do like this video, go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know what else you'd like me to film, because I really have been enjoying getting suggestions from everyone and having everyone's kind of feedback of what they like to watch.
I was on a roll.
Okay, why are you talking so like,
I'm speaking.
if you don't know me, I am Jordan.
Hi everybody, I am Alright, my name is Jordan Davenport and I am I'm just talking with you, I'm just talking to you. Okay. Hi everybody, I'm Jordan, I'm Tylen's fiance, and hi.
That was cute. Okay, so today we're really just going to be talking about us and our relationship and how we've been together for 10 years. There isn't a science or some secret magic trick or piece of advice we really have for anyone. So we're really just going to be talking about us and all things us and why we love each other so much and how we still love each other 10 years later. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. I have some notes on my phone. So first off, we met when we were, what, 11 and like 12?
11 and 12. I was 12 and you were 11
yeah.
when we first met.
Talk a little louder.
Okay.
Oh yes, okay, so we met when we were 11 and 12.
11 and 12.
And we lived on the same street, so we've been together for
a little over 10 years.
A little over 10 years. We didn't actually start dating when we were 11 and 12 though. We didn't start dating until we were like 12 and 13. 12
and 13 is when we officially started dating, but we met each other a little bit before that, a year and a half before that, and we were just really good friends.
We were the best of friends.
Facts.
And then we started dating, and we're gonna kind of just pass by all of that. The story of how we met and how we got started in dating is just really kind of normal. Unique. Yeah, I feel like our story actually of how we started dating isn't, I mean, it's unique, but it's not really crazy. I mean, people meet their soulmates or their significant others on their street or grew up with them all of the time. It's not a really, you know, random occurrence. So, yeah. Okay, so we met when we were 11 and 12, and now we are 23 and 24, soon to be 25, and he's gonna be such an old man. Oh my god.
I'm finally able to rent a real car and not, you know, I gotta put my age on there.
We've been together for over 10 years. We celebrate our 11th anniversary in August 6th to be exact. So that's just a little bit about us. We don't know everything. We aren't perfect. We don't know ins and outs to have the healthiest, happiest relationship, and we don't claim to ever be like couple goals and, you know, this and that. And I just really want to remind everyone that when you see people that you think are couple goals or they look perfect and happy all the time, I promise you it's not the case, and everyone has their own sets of issues. Okay, so now we're just gonna talk about what it's like being together for 10 years and being together for 10 years with someone at our age. That's a huge factor, and I think it surprises a lot of people when they ask us, you know, like when they see us or they meet us for the first time, oh, it's so cute, how long you guys been together? And we said 10 years, and what's everyone's like first reaction is like,
they always look at us
what?
Like, 10 years? How old are you?
How old are you? Yeah, exactly.
It's the first one.
They're always like, how old are you? And then we have to go through the whole, oh, we're 23 and 24. Yeah. I think my first point is that I guess we'll talk about how we each feel about being together for 10 years and being together for 10 years at our ages. First of all, I feel like everyone puts this imaginary timeline on us. When we tell people that we've been together for 10 years, they're like, oh my god, you're not married, you don't have kids, or what are your plans? And you have to remember that Jordan and I met when we were 11 and 12. And I think both of us never thought we'd be together for this long. I never started dating him thinking, this is it for me, like, I'm never gonna be with anyone else, it's only him forever and ever. By the time we graduated high school, We have already been together for
By the time we graduated high school, we were together for at least 6 years.
6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years by then, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like 7 years. So we had been together for a really long time. But when you're a teenager and you're young, it doesn't feel like that long. It doesn't feel like that amount of time. Am I making sense? But what I'm trying to say is that by the time we even graduated high school, we were already together for 7 years, which sounds, you know, if you were 21 by the time you met your person, and then 7 years from now, you know, you're 28, I think that the timelines people have for people who have been together for that long would make more sense.
We kind of just went with the flow. A lot of the times when people look at you, I could remember before I had proposed a timeline, a lot of people would be like, well, when are you going to get married? Or when are you going to propose? Or when are you going to do this? And when are you going to do that? There's no real set timeline, you know, there's just whatever you feel is the right time to do it.
What feels right in the moment.
Yeah, whatever feels good. A lot of people get married at 20, 21, and 22.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it at all.
That just wasn't what we always moved at our own pace, always. It didn't matter if we were together for a year, 3 years, you know, 10 years. We have always done what's best for us, and I think that's most important in making a relationship last, is truly doing what's best at your own time and not worrying about what other people are doing or what other people think you should be doing.
Yeah.
I guess being on the same page with each other, right, is like the biggest part of it. And we've always been on the same page with each other from the moment that we met until today. So
you have to be on the same page for a lot of things. You know, you have to be in tune with what their dreams are and what your dreams are, and just make sure you both have a time frame on what you want to accomplish by whatever date that you plan on doing that at. Now, you don't have to have a set deadline. A lot of people get things confused as far as like deadlines and timelines. Deadlines is something that you have to have done by X date. A timeline is like, okay, I want to have this done, I want to have this done, I want to have this done, I want this done. And I think you just have to have that with your significant other. Don't set any deadline for anything.
how do you feel about being together for 10 years and being together for 10 years so young?
I've been really happy. I've never been to the point where I just woke up one morning and was like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. And that's how you know, like, you're in love and you continue to stay in love. You know, I kind of felt that way when, you know, we were 2 years in, and I was like, you know, I'm still feeling the same way as I did when I first asked you out, I guess you could say. And it's only grown every day since. Just like when, you know, I tell you that I love you, I tell you more than I did yesterday, which is very accurate, you know. And this 10 years has just been, you know, amazing and happy, and a whole bunch of things have just transpired.
Starting out dating when you are really young, like we were, we both grew. I think a really common thing is that a lot of people don't really break up, you know, high school sweethearts and things like that. I mean, unless there's an actual really bad issue like domestic violence and abuse and you know, cheating and things like that, lying, all of those things. A lot of people just grow apart, and that is so normal and so
just natural.
It's natural, yeah. Because when you're with someone at 12, you're gonna be you know, for most people are gonna be pretty different at 22. So for us, it was more so that we realized as we got older, and like I mentioned earlier, we were never that couple like, we're gonna be together forever, like when we're 12 and 13. I think we started to get more serious about it when we were, you know,
well, I mean,
16, 17, you know, a little older, more, just older.
When we got into a relationship, no, we didn't really have like a set, like, oh, this is gonna happen at this time, because, you know, I tell people all the time when they ask me, you know, 1 month turned into 1 year, 1 year turned into 5, and 5 turned into 10. You know what I mean? There's never just a point in time where I was like, oh, like, you know, when we hit year 3, you know, when I'm 15 years old, I'll be like, yeah, this is it. But, you know, literally as it went on, it just stayed the same, and it only grew from the time we started. Sure, there's hiccups, and sure, there's moments where you're like, maybe that could have been done better, or maybe we shouldn't have had this discussion, or this argument, or this wasn't worth it, or that wasn't worth it. It's all part of the process. I think you just have to kind of grow and deal with it. As long as it's like not how, like she said, it's not like abusive or anything like that.
Saying we, instead of growing apart, we grew as individuals. Absolutely. I am not the same person I was at 12. He is not the same person he was at 13.
Obviously, I don't play football anymore. I make video games. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah.
I've changed.
But we, instead of growing apart, we grew as individuals and together in our relationship, and that is so important. I feel like I said, once again, we don't know everything. We are still learning and figuring it out and learning from other people and really just learning, like I've already said that, and growing. Just being in a relationship, you kind of like get your person, latch onto your person, that's you and your person only always. You kind of start to lose your identity. I feel like that can happen.
You can do two things at once. Just make sure, like how I said earlier, don't put 70% into something else and 30% into your other path that you're trying to go on. You have to.
I think that sounds really easier said than done, though. A lot of the time, you know, like grow as an individual, but also grow in your relationship. Like, I get why that would be hard for a lot of people. And you know, when you're in love with someone and you know, like me and Jordan are literally attached at the hip. We always have been. We always want to be with each other, but we also understand the importance of like taking time away. We both still have our own, you know, we have shared relationship goals and future goals and things like that, but we also have completely opposite personal goals. Like, I'm going to school to be a doctor. He develops video games. Like, definitely not the same
goals or aspirations.
Yeah, aspirations.
And they both take a lot of time dedicated.
A lot of
towards
time.
Both of them, so.
Yeah, and I think that just goes along the lines of being on the same page with each other. Did you see that?
Yeah, they fall.
Yeah. Respect is such a huge part of being in a long-lasting relationship. We respect each other so much. Like, I would never do anything to purposely like disrespect you, or I don't know, you know, and the respect comes along the same lines of cheating and lying and, you know, sneaking around and having other people in your business, and that's just not something that we do.
Everybody has a different threshold as far as like what they'll go through and what they'll come back from. It's just not ours. So it's just, I think, you know, everybody is different, and I think it kind of is just like a one and done deal for others, you know. So
Absolutely.
I think it's,
you know, people always say like relationships are such hard work and like you have to, you know, I mean, there are hard parts of it. I mean, being with another person and being in a relationship with another person who has a whole different set of like personality traits and the way they do things and communication, you know, with any person is hard. So imagine being in a relationship for 10 years with the same person and really just trying to figure out and work out how you guys work well together. That's not going to be easy.
oh, hard.
Yeah, so you know, and whether or not you've been together for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you know, people's grandmas and grandmas, grandmas and grandpas, grandpas and grandmas and grandpas have been together for 60 like plus years. It does take some work. However, you should not be miserable. If you're having more bad days than good, that's probably a sign. My biggest piece of advice, or like something that I found that makes us last the longest or have made us last this long, is that we genuinely want to be together. It's never been about how long we've been together. Yeah, I think that's exciting to be like, oh, we've been together for 10 years, like how long? But we've never let the fact that we've been together for any amount of time, 2 years, 4 years, any amount of time, keep us together. We've only been together for this long because we've genuinely wanted to be. It's not because we're afraid of starting over, or that we won't find someone else, or that we're just comfortable. What I'm trying to say is, don't let the amount of time that you've been with your person decide or alter the way that you feel about your relationship. You should genuinely want to be with them, and the amount of time that you've been together is like only a plus. I had people ask me questions on Instagram and on Twitter. So now that we're done with all of the talking about how we got here, why we're still here, we're going to answer some questions. Okay, so the first question that we have is, do you think privacy is key in maintaining a strong relationship? I'm gonna say, I think part of it, yes. And I think that mainly privacy in a relationship is more so because of outside opinions and unwanted comments and people who don't like to see people happy and thriving and doing, you know, being in love or being happier, more in love than they are. So I do think that.
Yes and no. I think privacy is very important when you're talking about things in life that you have and things in life that you may possibly want. I'm all for motivating people and inspiring people and, you know, showing them that you can go out and go get it. But I think sometimes, especially when it comes to me and Ty, I would rather not, because, you know, it's such personal things and it's such like, I just want to keep it close knit. And, you know, the people are crazy in this world now, so just keep it private.
So we have another question. What is one of the funniest things you've experienced together?
The purchase of the Honda thing was pretty funny. Or when we went to the car lot and we finessed them.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we have like one. If you know me and Jordan, you know that we are both huge goofballs. We laugh more than anything in our entire relationship. We are always laughing. There's always something so funny, and we've had so many funny, I can't even think of some of them without like actually crying and laughing. Probably one of the most recent ones though was this time we went to a Honda dealership.
So the funniest memory that we have recently, well, not recently, within like what, 2 years maybe, or like what, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
But the funniest one by far is back when we were in the search for a new car. We wanted to go to the Honda dealership. So back when we were going to go look for a new car, we headed to the Honda dealership to go and search for a vehicle. This was a year and a half, 2 years ago, and we walked in there, you know, thinking, you know, we're just gonna be looking for cars. That's like the, you know, that's the number one thing. We got out the car, and the moment we got out the car, dude
We
came
told him.
running right up to us.
We were just looking.
Just look, we was just telling, he came running right up to us, and we were like, don't we just looking, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, after 2 test drives, I don't know how that happened. We test drive 2 separate cars. We found ourselves inside of the Honda dealership building, sitting down at the table right when you're about to go like sign away the car. So we're sitting in there knowing we don't have the money for it, knowing we
like,
don't have
honestly, we didn't come prepared
nothing
at all for anything. We genuinely, and I know some people say that like, oh, we're just there to look. We genuinely were there just to like look at the vehicles. Didn't even plan on a test drive, any of that. But we ended up getting suckered into a test drive.
Yeah, 2 of them.
And then we're at 2, and then
You drove them both times.
I did. Why was I driving?
Because we had to find a car that you could drive.
Oh, yeah.
That you felt comfortable driving. And so we were at the table, and they were reading us off all this.
They were literally
nonsense.
trying to finesse us.
Importance, I don't
Basically,
wanna
we
do
made it
this.
seem like I didn't want the car, Jordan really did. And so we were bickering about not getting a vehicle or what to get or like which one we liked better. But every time we'd walk away, we'd be like, oh, we're about to get out of here. Like, we need to get going. We need to leave because, and it was so funny. Like, I would tap him underneath the table to like,
We gotta hurry up and go.
we gotta, or like,
leave.
we really need to get more dramatic about this because he ain't taking us seriously.
He said we can have the car, and then he said we could pay him later in like 30 days. Like, bro, we walked into the dealership.
Oh,
with
but
no money.
remember, he'd be like,
We
oh,
were
do you guys
broke.
not have $1,000 in the bank account? We
Yeah.
were like, no, we have it. We just,
Yeah, sure, we have $1,000 in the bank
we
account,
just
no
don't
problem.
want the car anymore after we test drove it and raved about it. For
Yeah,
30 minutes.
literally, no. Like, and I mean, it may not sound funny, but at the time it was hilarious because when we got out of the dealership, we wanted to go get gas. We were just dying at the gas station like this whole time.
Like, yeah, we
just
really
were
had to
burning
finesse
time.
our way out of that.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And remember when we explained the story afterwards?
It was hilarious.
We couldn't say it without crying. It was so funny. You had to have been there to like get it, but that was probably one of the funniest. I don't really know, to be honest.
It's more just
every
more
day,
jokes in the car.
Yeah,
We'll drive past them like there's
No, do
post-apocalyptic.
you remember? Our next question is, how did you guys start dating? We kind of touched on that. We met because I moved to his street. Then you asked me out.
I guess.
At
That's
the
what you
top
wanna
of the
call
street
it.
we lived
Yeah.
on. So
Yeah.
that was how we started dating. Another question. How have you kept each other your main priority through every season of life? That's a really good question.
Making sure I'm not, I always keep saying before, I make sure I'm not 80% in this lane and 5% in this lane or 20% in this lane, you know what I mean?
I've kept him a priority through every season of life just by recognizing that it truly is him and I. Like, we are a team. I should be prioritizing him because that's how I'd want to be treated. Like, I would like to be a priority to him, so I try to always make sure that I'm giving him just as much as he gives me. So the next question is, where do you see yourselves in 10 years? That's a really good question.
Yourselves or us? Like,
I guess
individually, or
individually and together.
Together, I would like to have a house in either Denver or California, and I would love to have a few children and be married.
A few?
And yeah.
How many is a few?
I don't know, 2, 3, somewhere around there,
Okay.
somewhere ballpark.
Okay.
Have a family and be married, and yeah, individually, I would like to be mentally stronger. I would like to be further with my company and just a better person.
Another question, what is the one quality or trait that separates Jordan from all men or the men you've dated? So this is definitely for me, but
Don't worry too much.
he set my standards so high, and I just genuinely don't think that I would meet anyone that loves me the way that he loves me. I love that you're just a really kind, generous,
Shower me.
just-
Shower me in
that's
compliment.
all you're getting, boy. I didn't say who asked these questions, but a lot of them are my friends, so shout out to my very bestest friends. What's the one story you guys have to tell your kids? We've worked really hard to get to where we're at in our relationship and our just every aspect of our lives. We've really given our all, and I just can't wait to tell them like how we did it and how we did it together. So
Yeah, there's
that's what I
no
would say.
specific story or a specific thing to tell. It'll be just a accumulation of a whole bunch of things that happened in our lives together that we grew from, experienced together for the first time, etc. All types of stuff like that. So
Okay, so that about wraps up the questions and just like talking about us for way too long. I hope that you guys liked it, and yeah, do you want to say anything else?
thank you for being very supportive to my fiance and her journey through YouTube. Thank you very much for supporting her channel.
And yeah, and I hope you guys really liked the video. I'm sure we didn't hit everything, and I'm sure there were a lot of questions that we didn't really get to answer for some people. So we've already just been filming for like an hour and a half, so we're gonna wrap it up here, but I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and if you'd like to see Jordan back, let him know so in the comments so he'll come visit us on this channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I've been really liking reading everyone's comments and responding back to it, and it just makes me really happy. So I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you in my next video.